This is the opening of the Wayans brothers. This might be just the outtake. Okay.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the figures. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
You know, good morning. Hold on. I don't know what's going on, but we about to do a countdown 3, 2. This is the opening of the Wayans brothers. This might be just the outtake. Okay.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the figures. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the figures. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the figures. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the figures. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
Good morning.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's better.
You know something? It's so cold in Memphis that even the intro froze. You hear me?
I was wondering. I said, now look, I need to hear my comma and a comma and a comma. I need to hear
That's
three commas so I can get that in my spirit this morning and know that is for me. When it first started, it said and a comma, and that's it. I said, wait a minute, that's $1,000. We don't want no $1,000. We'll take it, God. I'm sorry, I ain't saying it like that, but you know what I mean. But good morning, Christy.
We are definitely excited to be here on this very chilly Taylor Tilton Tuesday. I'm Christy Taylor, and that is...
I am Tina Tilton, and again, good morning.
And the Taylor Tilton Show is brought to you by...
Christy Taylor Consulting and the Podcast Center, and we got to add a new one, Bumpin, 96.3 FM Memphis. We'll tell you more about that later.
And the thing is if you would look at the screen, I only have Christy Taylor Consultant and the Podcast Center. Now I have to add a third logo. Okay.
I wasn't even looking. I had my phone. Okay, I see it now. I like that, Christy. You are so creative.
Thank you, darling. Thank you, darling. And you know something? It truly is a very chilly Taylor Tilton Tuesday. But we're going to keep warming you up with all of this incredible conversation. And let me tell you what's happening with us. At this time, let's do a quick recap. Oh, my goodness.
We can recap?
Yeah, we need to recap. Okay. But let me take another swig of my cayenne peppered orange juice. But we do need to cover just a little recap before we get into today's discussion. Of course, all eyes was on Memphis this weekend.
Yes, it was. I mean, CNN eyes. That was the major one that I saw. I saw repeatedly Don Lemon being very, very visible in the Memphis market. Even Kavanje took a picture with Don Lemon, and I was like, "Where's Kavanje? I would have loved to have taken a picture with Don." But it was
every major news network was in the city of Memphis due to the unfortunate death of Tyree Nichols. At the head of the 5 Memphis police officers that were a part of the Scorpio unit. About it, truly, before even we had this big chill that has schools closed today on Thursday, Friday, because they say they were going to be releasing the video at Friday at
6 p.m.
That the Memphis Shelby County schools, they closed. A lot of businesses were to themselves.
And they were boarding their windows. Did you see that? I saw some of those on the news. I said, whoa, that business is so boarded up. You can't even tell that it was ever open. It looked like one of those abandoned buildings on Lamar. I said, what the world?
what you said. I mean, so that was really, really, I was out of the fray. Tina and I, we actually earlier that day, because of course we've got some good news that we're going to be talking about later on. We were in the Whitehaven community at the Southbrook Mall. Tina and Lit LovelyLisa wanted to make sure I was up and out of the bed early.
I don't know how successful we were, but you were kind of on time. Kind of, 10 minutes.
Time. Oh my goodness. To do a walkthrough of the Southbrook Mall, because they have, of course, have been really bringing that mall back to life. A lot of great business, and their finishing touches is going to be the theater, performing arts, and also 2 movie theaters are going to be there, which is theater Tina said she went to back in the day when she was a little girl.
I did, and when I tell you that mall, Southbrook Mall, is beautiful, I'm trying to tell you guys right now, the entire mall is beautiful. You would not even think that you were in Whitehaven, and I hate to say it like that. I'm just saying, like, sometimes we have a different mental picture of what's nice in the quote unquote hood, but that mall is so pretty and so beautiful that I told him, I said, honey, if you take this mall, put it in Bartlett, you would be booked every day.
Yeah. They have a lot of great event center locations there, in addition to, first of all, a lot of city businesses are there. City of Memphis services have their offices there. And of course, Whitehaven, shout out to all the things that you're doing to revitalize that entire community.
Yeah.
And for those who are doing great things in the Whitehaven community, kudos, because from one inch of this city to the other, definitely in a time of renaissance, which is another reason why it was kind of really heartbreaking that while we're in this renaissance, to have the most recent episodes of some heinous crimes that include this, that has all eyes on Memphis, outside of the Grizzlies, because everybody been checking us out for the Grizzlies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And we finally won another game. Thank you, Grizzlies. But go ahead.
Yeah. So, so pretty much on Friday did. And then, of course, I also had some business to tend to that's related to Christie Taylor Consulting, which is one of the sponsors of the Taylor Tilton Show, which included, let me just double check. I got to go back to my calendar. What else did I do? Oh, yeah. So then Tina, before I could get to all my business, after we left Whitehaven, we had to drive 45 minutes to the other end of Shelby County, to Bartlett.
Yes, we did. I couldn't believe you know what? I thought that was maybe a 30-minute drive, but it did take us 45 minutes from Whitehaven to Bartlett to my child's career day at her school. But you know what, Christy? I want to thank you. I want to thank Lit LovelyLisa and the teacher and the school for allowing us to come in and speak to the students about our careers. They were very intrigued and happy that we brought music.
A great idea. She brought like one of those karaoke machines that she could Bluetooth her phone to, so that the children could actually be radio personalities for a day. I wrote on the board. See, I'm such a teacher. Did you see how I immediately went?
Went for the dry erase marker and a script. Here, let them say this. And the teacher obliged. She's, okay.
Like, where are your markers? So I literally wrote out the script that they could say, like, hey, you're listening to Bumpin 96.3 FM. And they had to fill in their name, and then they say, and you're listening to, and then they had to say the name of the song that Tina selected. So I literally wrote that on the board, and the children had a great time. They first of all, they were geeked when they got their hand on the microphone. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But you know, it's so good when you can see young people, and this is something, of course, with all of the different things, All Eyes on Memphis, we have some amazing organizations and schools and, churches and foundations that are doing their part. And I want us, Tina, in 2023, as we are doing, to even more people to salute and to spotlight on the good and the great that is happening here in the city.
And, I like that. We could use a dose of that in our city.
Yeah, we definitely can. So shout out to Tina Tilton that had me being 45 minute drive. The Fiat, first of all, Let me tell y'all on Friday. Let me talk about myself. Let me talk about myself. So when we were before we left Southbrook Mall, I had not eaten breakfast. Now Tina and Lisa, they tend to probably get up at 4 a.m. I do not know because I'm still hugging the pillow. So for me to leave and be in any location by 10 anything, that means I've skipped breakfast or just grabbed a Nutri-Grain bar. So when we're leaving,
no, that means you didn't wake up on time to grab breakfast. But go ahead.
So when we're leaving, I'm like, and we're about to go do a career day at 1:00. I'm like, I got to get some food. So I did reach out to one of our dear mentors, John Payne, who lives in the Whitehaven community.
Hey, John.
And, you know, anytime I'm in that part of the city anyway, I just reach out. That, you know, he is a pillar in that community. Many things he's done is to be the director of the Persuaders, which is a boys mentoring group that he's now expanded to girls. And great things are done in the city to bring people into, you know, a higher way of living. He always talks about how Liddell Beeman, who is of Heal the Hood, came Persuaders along with many, many others. And so he reached out to us when he found out me and Tina and Lisa was in his community. He met us at the Black-owned breakfast spots called Egg King. Everybody knows about Egg King.
Oh, yeah, we do. That food is so good. It is really good.
How would you know? Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Oh, he said, thank you for spotlighting. Wait a minute. He says, thank you for spotlighting my Whitehaven neighborhood and go to YouTube and listen to my blues song, Grizzly Blues, man. Okay, William.
We got to William.
Okay, William, we're going to do just that. So needless to say, the 45-minute drive, if I had known it was 45 minutes, I probably would have left you all sooner at Southbrook Mall because I was like, I'm hungry. But they were so fast at Ed King, gave out food, but we left, around 12:15. And when it was I got in between, at some point, I'm like, hey, Tina, get in front because she know exactly where she was going, jumping on the expressway. I typically take the streets, and when I do go on the expressway, it's not the hey, let me just tell y'all that, okay? It's a couple of exits and I'm off the expressway. So for me to have to be trailing Tina and Lisa behind me, Jesus, and people are driving like they drive on the I-240, okay?
Well, you know what? I continue to look in my rear view mirror, looking for that. Looking for that Fiat.
Because a couple times, and I'm like, we're all going 70 miles an hour. How fast is everybody else going?
Girl,
we made it there.
We did
to do what we
just
needed to do
in time. Oh my goodness!
And they were so. And then of course they had a museum visit. I guess a part of the career day too. And Lisa, having been in the military and stuff like that, she ended up going with Olivia while Tina tended to something, and I went to go sit down, ladies and gentlemen. I did. I said, I'm gonna sit right here at the front with the karaoke machine. I'm gonna watch the karaoke machine.
Let me tell them something else that you did. You guys, Christie Taylor was I ain't gonna even say it like that. How can I put that? Okay. Christie Taylor changed. I'm gonna tell it. Christie Taylor changed shirts in the midst of 15, 20, 8-year-olds and changed her shirt. Get out of her shirt. No, that's what happened. You got out of your other shirt and you put on a Bumpin shirt in the midst of 15, 8-year-olds. And I said, wait a minute, because so Lisa gave us all Bumpin 96.3 t-shirts. Lisa already had hers on. Okay. She brought a shirt for me and Christy.
That's right. So
we got there just in the nick of time.
Hold on, let me
go on, say your story, but I'm still telling the truth. You did change your shirt right there in the midst of them cheering. And I looked around and said, what? Wait a minute, what just happened? How did you get that shirt on?
With my earmuffs and laid it down because, honey, it was cold, getting cold on Friday for me. And she said, put it on. So all I did, ladies and gentlemen, is I pulled the black t-shirt with the Bumpin 96.3 FM logo on top of my other shirt. But she didn't see it. That's all I did. I just pulled it over my head on top of my other t-shirt.
Oh, I didn't see that other
Neither
T-shirt still
you,
on.
the
My
teacher,
bad.
or the children saw me just pull the T-shirt over my head, and
Oh,
and make sure that the wig wasn't moved. Yeah, that's all I was doing. That's all.
oh, my bad. My bad. I did not see the other T-shirt still on. Okay, my apologies. Because
Oh yeah, the
literally
next
all
one.
this
Yeah.
time I assumed that you had taken that darn shirt off because I know you said Lisa said,
No.
"Stand right here, I'll
No.
cover you." And Lisa attempted to cover you with her little body. Oh, girl, you can't
Oh,
cover
wait a minute. She was successful because neither you, the teacher, or the children saw me pull the T-shirt over my
nobody.
head
You didn't.
on
Sure
top
didn't.
of my other T-shirt.
I did not see that. Nope, I sure did not. Well, good
So that
job
was
because
Friday for
all
me.
I can
That was
say.
Friday for me. After that, I pretty much chilled out for the rest of the day. I mean, I think y'all saw me on Facebook. I went to that's when I went to Fresh Market and saw everybody running to the stores like we were having an ice storm on Friday.
Oh yeah.
And then
You know
I
what?
ended
No,
up
I
going
had already
downtown.
gone. I had already gone early that
Okay.
Friday morning. When I dropped Olivia off for school, I said, I know I need to pick up, a container of milk, a stick of butter, and a loaf of bread, something like that. I can't remember. But it was very, I have very few items. However, I did do that before I headed out to the Southbrook Mall at 10 a.m. and was on time.
Anywho, but by the time I did my Overton Park, and then I went down to the river for the sunset, and I went to this one little because I felt like at the end of the day, I was like, I done ate all this healthy stuff, drinking all this cold pressed juice from Fresh Market. I ended my Friday cuisine with some lemon pepper hot wings from the hood. I'm just saying, I was like, I'm driving past, I'm like, oh, they got them good
Where'd
wings.
you go?
It's this place called Huxtables off of Jackson near Danny Thomas. It's not that far from downtown. Downtown, Midtown, North Memphis, right on that corridor. So I went there, and honey, I said, and of course they had the news on because we had been out and about, and of course they were talking about the fact that the video had dropped by this time, and I'm like, let me get out of here so I don't see anything. So there are people on both sides of the fence. So did you watch it? Will you watch it? I don't watch that at all normally. So I definitely didn't want to watch it since it was so close to Memphis and I knew the emotions that were running high. I can't unsee things. Now, if anybody knows what an empath is, you understand what I mean by that. Like certain things I can't unsee because it attaches to me emotionally. That's the reason I don't watch scary movies. I can't watch them because I can't unsee it.
Oh, gotcha. I used to, but I just choose not to anymore. But I can say this: there were even Friday around 6 p.m. My stepdad, and big shout outs to Ronald Jones. He celebrated his birthday. He had a birthday on Friday, but he also retired from Shelby County Schools on Friday. So it was a 1-2 punch, and I was so excited to know that he was celebrating his retirement on his birthday that Mom and we had gotten together earlier that week and said we're going to throw this big surprise shing-ding for him. And of course, you know what? It didn't take place because of the potential riots and that were discussed. I mean, some riot news was negative riot news was going out. Well, ain't no positive riot, is it? But there was a peaceful protest. But there were,
But therein lies there, of course, is plenty of commentary that we can do at another time about how we are in media. Understand, Tina Tilton and I have been in media 30 plus years. She always said, I'm the 30 and the plus. Okay. So, so with that being understand, we do understand the power of media. We do understand that there are sometimes the role that it plays in promoting good and evil. I'm just going to go
I know
that's
right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And honestly, okay.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, for me, my industry, it grieved me Friday. Not that the information shouldn't be put out there, but or the potential. I'm like, the potential lies. Yes, there is potential for this city to get towed up, but the information and how it was put out there, as if to say, brace yourself, Memphis, because riots are gonna pop up all over town. they didn't.
Yeah,
And I'm
that's
so
fear
grateful for
mongering.
that.
That's fear
And it
mongering.
is. And I was
It's
so
propaganda.
disappointed in the media
Yeah.
Friday. I really was. For
And
that
let me
purpose.
say
For
this
that
too.
purpose.
And now, I'm not a native Memphian, so I'm going to speak it from this angle. I do understand Memphis's history, and I have been a long time citizen of Shelby County, as far as Millington and in the Raleigh area, North Haven, Woodstock, all that. And I used to always rep Memphis wherever I lived across the country. But coming here to Memphis, I understand that there are some additional, I would just say, the psyche of Memphis due to the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., which a lot of people were like, and we just went through that, the annual celebration at the National Civil Rights Museum. So there's a lot of still emotional rawness. So when you have these type of situations, people are very, very sensitive to how Memphians respond. And it's sad to say that, yes, being a predominantly African-American city, high density population, that people honestly feel like we're going to whoop that trick, get them.
I was about to say, tear it up.
But people are exhausted. People don't understand the impact that I think the pandemic has had on a lot of people, or just the isolation, the different forms of change and loss that's happening, even with technology and just the world changing in and of itself, that even Memphis, in its attempt to grow and become a 21st century city, it has had to, like you would if you were in therapy. You know what I'm saying? I go to therapy. As a matter of fact, I talked about therapists Friday morning before that was one of the reasons why I was slightly tardy, because I need to get my phone call in. You know what I'm saying? But
wait a minute. You talk to a shrink.
Oh God.
That's what they call them. That's what they call them, ain't it? A shrink.
I don't call mine a shrink. I call mine Keisha. You know what I'm saying? Keisha.
Keisha's a shrink. Interesting. I didn't know that about you, Christie Taylor.
Oh,
Lord God. Hold on. Let me send a prayer up. Lord, again, I say, is this the best you could send me?
Hold on. Wait a minute. Tina, I thought I told you. I have been an advocate and I have participated and enjoyed the benefits of therapy since my 20s, when I was living in Detroit. And my dear friend Francine Walker, as I was processing my early life, and she was like, yeah, I know you go to church, sis, and you love the Lord and God loves you, but you need to go to therapy. And I did. So since my 20s, so for 30 years, when I have a crisis moment, because I've learned that if I'm in crises, like Memphis, Tennessee, that you need to go talk to somebody. You need somebody to help you process whatever you're going through, work your coping skills, and keep it moving. Understand? So
okay. I do understand. I'm gonna agree with you on that. I do understand.
Tina, as much as we talk,
I didn't know you were saying Keisha the shrink. I did not know.
Well, there is a difference between a therapist and a psychologist, which can be called a shrink. But I'll take Keisha the shrink right about now, baby. What? And I'm talking to her this weekend. I hope she's on the books. Let me see if she's on my calendar. And let me just say this: when we're talking about the collective psyche, it has been studied that based upon, yes, I got to go nerdy, which is going to get us to bumping into issues around here with Tina and Lisa on just yesterday. When it comes to the psyche and you hitting your soul different ways with life, and then you have the collective consciousness. It's already studied that African-American people, from the time we, came across the ocean unwillingly, because I do believe there were explorers before the transatlantic slave trade. But when we came over here, snatched from our land and forced into free labor, not even getting a minimum wage that you get in a day, and building out a nation and seeing it prosper and you not participate, there's a lot of collective trauma that we have never been able to process. So if individually you need to pause, step away, handle your personal business because of all that compounded personal things you done did to yourself, things that people have done to you, family included, neighborhood, community, and a nation, and the world. Honey, yes, Keisha, y'all need to be calling Keisha the shrink.
But you know what? But you didn't come across the seas. You may have come across the Mississippi River, but you didn't come across no seas.
But see, now this is where, we need to move up what y'all don't know about me right now. What y'all don't know about me.
No. Save it. Okay, go and save it.
I would just say this, that I believe just like we pass down DNA that impacts your skin tone, your hair texture, the color of your eyes, the curve of your hips, all of that. We are also being passed down the emotional makeup,
trauma.
not
makeup,
the emotional makeup of our ancestors.
That's fair.
Which include some of their trauma and psychosis.
That's a fair assumption. I like that. I could agree with that.
Yeah. So sometimes what you working through ain't even what you working through. It's what somebody else done had to deal with that was never resolved. Now,
I don't know, because yesterday's work through was just hard. And I'm still trying to recoup from that. I really am tired. However, I am going to press through. Pressing on. I can't remember who sings that song, but nonetheless.
My girl's sister, Vanessa Armstrong. I went to
Okay.
I went to Tina Dora Roberts University with her sister Margaret Bell, who was a TV singer. Yeah, pressing on and on. And of course, Hallelujah FM and 990 The Light. That was one of our. Yeah. Sometimes you get a tick. Now I done lost a little. Pressing on. Okay, so
pressing on. But that's what we're doing this morning, because we have had our share of bumps this in the past 24 hours, if you will, or weekend, like you said.
Yeah, the whole weekend, because I don't even know what happened Friday. I did a session, co-writing session, and Sunday I tried to rest because I knew this week was going to be full because Tina,
you always put it on me. You always putting it on me, like Tina. I ain't done nothing. If anything, you can say yourself. Do you know how many meetings you have us in? And these ain't even short meetings. These are 3-hour meetings, you guys. Christie Taylor got us involved in 2 different. Now they're going to be impactful. They're going to help our businesses.
Now, wait.
But 2 3-hour classes. Don't you say Tina. No. Christie. Well, we both of us.
That's true. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so first of all, good morning, Sandra Hill Wilson. Good morning, everybody. Check in. We love to love on you all and all that good stuff. Yes. Okay. So yes, I will celebrate. Real pause. That Tina Tilton and we had applied both in December and in January to do 2 different business cohorts for women of color, and hallelujah, we were accepted into both. One is Enterprising Women of Color that we connected through the Women Business Enterprising Center at south of Crosstown, and then we also shout out to Miss Eugenia, who is over the Memphis Urban League. We also applied to that one. And Friday, when I was trying to decompress from the very, very full day we had, I get a text from Tina Friday night saying, check your email. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, we've been out all day. Whoa.
What is it?
I feel like Tina be kind of low key South Memphising me when she be texting.
You know what? No, I don't mean that. That's not the tone when I send an email. I mean, or the text.
When I read your text, I be hearing.
Really? I'm so sorry. No. That's not my intent. I just be giving you information. Check your email.
Hold on. Good morning, LaTondra Lewis. Good morning.
Hey, cousin. What's up, cuz?
That's right.
Let me know about February 8th, cuz. I need to know. I know that's Super Bowl Sunday, so let me know what you're doing. But anyway.
Okay. But just like this morning, Tina, because I was at the time, because I get up super early, show has been set, and I'm like, I got a little time to play. And then I get this text, I'm in. That's how it's
see, you can't even hear a tone to that. All it simply texted was, I'm in. And I was just informing you that I was there so that you could come in. It was 8:56 a.m. We start at 9. I was just informing you that I was in. Because sometimes I know I could still be kind of running around too and hit it at 8:58. Like, oh Lord, I got 2 minutes.
That's right. But needless to say that as a result, everybody, hey, if you're checking us out on the Facebook, on the YouTube, here on this Taylor Tilton Tuesday, go on and hit us up. Let us know Oh, wait a minute. It's time for me to wake up, ladies and gentlemen. It's 9:30 a.m. Good morning, everybody.
Sunshine grinning face, but
Yes, this is see, even on a chilly, frigid
Icy.
Taylor Tilton, icy Taylor Tilton Tuesday. We are trying to warm up your morning.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to wake up.
Well, that part too. But I have had my entire cayenne peppered orange juice, and I'm feeling really hype right now because I put in extra cayenne pepper because I'm like, I'm gonna need it because I just wanted to stay in bed because even though it's cold outside and you can have a warm house, you just feel like you should stay in the bed when it's cold outside. For me, psychologically, that's the way my mind works. It's like I'm not going anywhere. So just
Oh yeah, by the way, the podcast center is closed today.
Oh, speaking of that, the Taylor Tilton Show is brought to you by, hold on 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. If you're looking at the screen, I need you to watch this. The Taylor Tilton Show is brought to you by, go ahead, Tina.
Oh, that's your line. You keep forgetting. You do your own lines lately at 9:30.
If you don't mind, say them both together, and then I'm going to do my line.
Oh, okay, I'll follow you. It is brought to you by Christie Taylor Consulting and the Podcast Center.
And now I want everybody to look at the screen. Christie Taylor Consulting is a communications and public relations agency offering creative entrepreneurs, corporations, and nonprofits core communication and PR services such as media training, voiceovers, podcast development, and script consultant for radio, TV, and film. Whatever your need is, we are here to serve. So I want y'all to visit me at ChristieTaylorConsulting.com. Now it's your turn, Tina.
Oh, I can't see that little writing. You didn't give me heads up. Yeah, the Podcast Center. Right there on the screen. Wait a minute. Hold on, read it for me. I can't see it.
Put your readers on. And the Podcast Center is also a sponsor of the Taylor Tilton Show. And the Podcast Center is a full-service production facility for podcasting, traditional radio, and cable television. Clients can choose in studio, on location, or remote production to create high-quality content. And through strategic partnerships that includes Flynn Broadcasting and Comcast Southeast, the Podcast Center can also help clients podcast and broadcast to the world. Get all the details at the Podcast Center, Memphis.com.
When did you have time to do that? Especially since we bumped into a few radio challenges yesterday. When did you have time to do that?
Well, after I got one of those texts that said, update our outro.
See that.
And I was like already on it, and I was already like, oh yeah, we got to get out. And I hope y'all noticed that the new bluish color, I was feeling blue for 2023. Anyway, so the Podcast Center, Christie Taylor Consulting, we are definitely here to serve you. And
yes,
as media personalities, we also want to make sure we keep you warmed up on this frigid, icy Taylor Tilton Tuesday. If you're in the Memphis area, feel free to check in. We want to know what rep your neighborhood today. Rep your neighborhood. All right, Tina. So let's talk about bumping into issues at the radio station on yesterday.
Well, let me first share with the listeners that we, as I posted last, I believe it was last Wednesday or something like that when I posted it. Yeah, so there is a flyer on social media, our Instagram and Facebook pages that says, meet the managers. That would be yours truly, Tina Tilton, your other truly, Christie Taylor, and the missing truly, Lit LovelyLisa. We are seriously, we are the new managers of Bumpin 96.3 FM Radio Memphis. And we were just like, just excited. And well, let me go back. Bumpin 96.3 is a throwback. I was going to call it a classic, but they call it throwback. It's a throwback hip hop radio station. We play, we are in the midst of finding and collecting and inputting even more classic hits for you, as far back as Dougie Fresh, and maybe up to Watch Me Dougie, Dougie, Teach Me How to Dougie. I think that was about 10 years ago as well. So we got the Dougie in the 80s and the Dougies in the 2000s. So that is definitely a station that you would want to listen to, 96.3 FM. But we were contacted around Christmas Eve to say, hey, our hands are full, we're tied. Would you ladies consider taking over the station? And so I got with my homies and
Yes.
said, "What do y'all think?" He
Thank you,
said, "Yeah."
Sandra. Thank you, Sandra. And I was like, yeah, because we already have been working with them since they launched around August
Mm-hmm.
by putting on, if you saw, Tina would be promoting the weekend bump, allowing podcasters and those who wanted to create independent radio shows to basically create a 1 hour radio show. And then Tina contacted me because I love to teach, like I did those children at the career day. Yes, this is what you say when you are a radio personality. And so I have been since October teaching classes, September, October, teaching.
September.
Yes, in September, teaching classes for those who want to have radio shows, teaching people how to put those 1 hour shows together for both podcasting and radio, because you can take that 1 hour show and put it on podcast digital platforms as well as on Bumpin 96.3 FM. And then, yes, when she said that they were like, hey, could y'all take the station over? I'm like, yeah, because we already did the work.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so let's make that happen and make all the money. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Look at that. And so yesterday was the kickoff of our training. So Lisa, Christy, Lisa, and I, we went to the radio station. We were there about 10 o'clock. Lord have mercy, we left there about 2:15, something like that. And when I say we bumped into some radio challenges, oh my goodness. Like no one knows the behind the scenes duties or requirements that it takes. They don't know the work really that it takes to run and start from the foundation. I mean, I'm talking about foundational settings of a radio station or probably any business. But since we're talking radio, no one knows really what it takes. You guys get an opportunity to experience the music and the finished product, right? And the information that we give out, things of that nature. But what it takes to get that done, I tell you, I am mentally exhausted. Lisa and I'm so grateful that Christy Taylor was there, you guys, because Lisa and I, as Lisa stated in her Facebook post, we were sitting there looking like deer in headlights because we did not know what the world this engineer was talking about. He was going so fast. He's good. And I'm so grateful that we had an opportunity to record it so we could always go back and look at it. But we did not know what this man was talking about. And we were like two kids in a classroom that had gotten in trouble. You know how you kind of stay in the back and you stay quiet. I said, shoot, I don't know what, but Christy, she had all the questions. She said, is it this? Is it that? Can you do this? Can you do that? Well, can you do this for us now? Can you put this on before, can you create that before we leave today? So she was and so for real, I want to thank you, Christy, because my mind was so not there. I was in total overload. And when I said I had a headache yesterday, I meant it. I was not kidding. I did have a headache. I felt totally overwhelmed and overloaded by the amount of information that was being presented.
Information overload.
Yes.
So because when they were sitting there and I was being aggressive. Now, first of all, have y'all heard of Blurds? That's BLERD, Blurds, which is a combination of Black nerds. So I am proudly a part of the Blurds. Not as blurty as some, but I am in that arena. Yeah, I work around and I can definitely flow in that area. Baby, he was talking stuff. I was like, oh, can I do this? Okay, what about this? Yeah, I was. And I was vibing because I guess I was vibing with him. We were vibing.
I know y'all were, and I'm so glad that you two were, because Lisa and I were vibing on our own, just together. It didn't take nothing for us to both to just sit back and say nothing. Just let them talk.
And the thing is this, ladies and gentlemen, I at one point when Tina said this side of my head is hurting, I said, for real? And she was like, yeah. And we took a picture of her holding her head. And let me tell you, I'm like, true enough, from 10 to 2, that's a long time for consistent information about anything that's tech. I do get that.
Yeah.
That is a lot. Now, of course, you come to my podcast, training classes, development classes, radio show development classes. I will do 3 to 4 hours. So I could take knowledge coming at me and giving it away. But what was good about the engineer is he's a young cat, very much into his vibe. Once he started realizing that he wasn't dealing with anybody who was totally remedial, he just started slinging the information and showing off. So let me tell y'all what was really going on, Tina. One reason why I kept asking questions is I asked Tina at one point, I said, do y'all want to know why? This is about 1 o'clock. I said, do y'all want to know why the reason I'm like this? Then Tina said, no.
No.
And I said, well, I'm going to tell you anyway.
She's
Lisa
right.
started laughing. I was like, in 1999, which is when I initially launched my full radio career in Memphis. 6 years earlier, when I came back from Detroit, I got to tell the story. When I came home from Detroit in around 92, 93, I was working for a station that would later become Hot 107. At the time, it was a gospel station and an AC station, urban AC station. Eventually, Dr. Flynn purchased it from this Church of God in Christ bishop. But I had been on that station. Station had bellied up. But that is where I initially met Michael Adrian Davis, who I would years later work with at AM 990 The Light and Hallelujah FM. So when the station went belly up for 6 years, ladies and gentlemen, the most creative thing I was doing was typing memos and letters. Okay. I was in offices. And one of my last temp jobs that I had, because I would never take a permanent job because I was saying I was always leaving, going back to Detroit. But I never left. I kept saying, I'm going back to Detroit. And then I would take another temp gig. My last temp gig or contracted work that they say today was as a IT help desk support assistant. And God forbid that I was literally about 6 years in, I was about to surrender to, I will never get back into media. I will never be back in the entertainment field, hanging with my musician friends. I need to go ahead and take a real job. You know how we get to that point. And I was an IT help support. And I was so fast at it that they were just about to take me into training as a Microsoft certified this and another IT that. I was going to go to these. I was working for an oncology office. And lo and behold, remember Michael Adrian Davis from 6 years earlier? We had started at some point going to Greater Community Temple. And he called me one day out of the blue and was like, hey, one of the guys on the weekend left. Do you want this job? I was like, I'll take it. And then 6 months later, another person from Clear Channel called me and say, hey, we got a full-time position in office. Do you want it? If they had not called me in 1999, ladies and gentlemen, I probably could have been the engineer that Tina and them were talking to, because I I was literally about to start taking classes to do IT.
You are a blurb then, aren't you?
I really am. I really am.
What is it? What is it? Blurb?
It's basically a black nerd.
Oh, blurred. Okay.
Yeah. So literally, when I'm around techie guys, I do get a little, okay, hi. So and then because I was asking all the right questions, then he kept showing off. So I said, well, can you do this then? Can you do that? Can you do? So he basically did all the heavy lifting, baby. He pretty much designed most of the stuff we need. And
all she didn't do was show a leg, because she had that man do all of that work. He sure did. He sure did. Now there are some other things for us to still tweak and figure out and manage and run and stuff like that. So just in case you're listening this weekend and the station goes off the air, you'll know why, because we've been in touch and trying to figure something out. But seriously, all the other, like she said, heavy lifting and the foundational things that we are putting our own touches to the station with, then it's done. He did do that, thanks to Christie. Because if it were up to me and Lisa, we would have still been sitting there with our mouths open, like, we don't know what you're talking about. And even when I shared it with my mom said, but weren't you on the radio before? You forgot radio? I said, Mama, it's not the same. This, what we learned today, which was yesterday, I said that's behind the scenes radio. As an on-air personality, when we walk into an air shift,
Right.
Everything is already laid out. I said it's like baking a cake. And for us, the DJs or on-air personalities, we just come in and slice the cake. We just cut it.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
I ain't been to the
Good
store. I ain't
morning.
bought no products.
Good
Who's that?
morning, Anita Jones. And she just
Oh,
said
that's
your name.
mommy. Speaking of mommy. Hey, mommy. Good morning. I said that, I ain't go to the store. I ain't buy the products for the cake. I didn't put the ingredients together to bake it. I didn't bake it. I didn't frost it. Nothing. All I did was slice it. That's all we do is
And
on-air personality.
all she did is when we are DJs, air personalities, we cut the cake and pass it to the person
And
who is.
pass it. That's it.
That's
Exactly.
it. Hey,
And so,
but yeah,
yeah,
we were
all
in the
this
kitchen
other stuff,
yesterday.
woo.
We were definitely in the back. We were having to go to the stock room. We had to go.
Yes.
We had to get on the ladder and find the flour. And because, to that point about I did not have to show a leg, but I definitely was showing my right and left lobes of my brain, because he was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I could do that. I was like, okay.
Ooh, well, again, I'm glad you were there, because I would have probably had to have Lisa show a leg or something. Lisa, show a leg and get this done. She the single on the other group. Get it done, leg. Let's get this done. but it was interesting. And then when we left there, we let's see, we left there too.
The weather was changing.
Golly, it was extremely cold, and I knew something was about to happen. I told my husband, I said, the clouds are grayish white, so that tells me something is about to drop out of them really soon.
Yes.
So I was grateful to be home. But at 6 o'clock, yet again, is when, again, Christy had us involved in something. And we were on that phone till 9 o'clock. I really thought when I read that email that it said from 6 to 7:30. I was wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, she hit me up Friday and said, check your email. And I done woke up out of our Friday day stupor, 10 o'clock at night, trying to check the email, making sure I signed all the confidentiality agreements. And then I hit her up and said, did you do it? No, I did not. I was like, it's Monday. You told me Friday.
I didn't know that I had to sign it right then and there. That's why. I saw the email, I saw the text message, but I didn't know it needed to be done right then and there until another email or text message, one or the other, was sent to me saying, hey, be sure to sign these papers before class. Oh, well, girl, okay, I got some errands to run before this ice comes in. So when I get home, I'll make sure that I do that. Because, see, I had cooked my family a delicious meal yesterday.
Yes.
You hear me? No, like the man on TV said, you hear me? I cooked some smoked turkey necks. I cooked some collard greens. I cooked some macaroni and cheese and some cornbread. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. All before getting on that line or on that Zoom meeting before 6 o'clock. Honey, so again, that's why I say, all right, so we were in training. We left radio training. I had to run a few errands. Came home, finished cooking, and then I literally finished gobbling my plate about 5:50, and then I hit that. I hit the Zoom meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that explains why, because she had such a heavy meal on her that she starts texting me while we're in class, talking about how sleepy she was.
I was sleepy. No, I'm sorry. I still am sleepy. I ain't got my feel yet. Did I get my 8 hours? No. I need to wrap this call up.
What you said? We about to look. Okay, whether you're listening to us on Tuesday or listening to the playback on Sunday, trust me, we are going to be taking naps whatever day you're talking about. I'm going to be taking a nap. I'm taking a nap.
I know that's right.
This is a great time. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. If you want to check in before we wrap up, once again, the Taylor Tilton Show. We are excited every Taylor Tilton Tuesday to share with you our thoughts, our chat fest. And on this very cold, icy Tuesday here in Memphis, we hope that we're warming your hearts, at least while you pull the covers a little closer. Maybe you're cooking breakfast because the children are home. But we thank you all for hanging out with us. And I know
it's kind of quiet today. I hope they have power.
Yeah,
Shucks.
that's true. We've had some people hanging out with us, but they probably multitasking. We appreciate and love each of you. Let me tell you this. William Gandy has told us we need to go to YouTube and listen to his blues song, Grizzly Blues, Maine. He's repping Whitehaven, so we'll definitely do that off air. But right now, what you don't know about me, Tina,
Getting
I
to
did
know
last week.
you.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, I know. I was just singing getting to know you. Go ahead. You're first.
Yes, I did it first last time. Now it's time.
Oh, okay. Hey, it's me. Okay. You told me, you asked me, I don't know how this conversation came about because it seems like you just kind of asked me out of the blue. But because I am a married woman, obviously Tilton is not my last name. It's not my government last name. But Christy asked me recently, where did you get the name Tilton from? And I said, and I gave her the answer, but she said, what? I didn't know that. You should tell that on Getting to Know You. So I am going to tell you guys the story behind the name Tina Tilton. Okay. Well, my name is Tina, but obviously, well, my last name is not Tilton. But when I first got into this entertainment world, which was my television show, the Video Waves, back in 1996. I remember getting approved for that television show and being so excited. And I told my parents, Mom, Dad, I got approved, and now I'm about to have a TV show. I'm about to have a video show on TV. And they said, Great, baby. And I said, I can't wait to tell everybody my name. Then they both got silent and said, no, that's not a good idea. What do you mean it's not a good idea? I want everybody to know my real name. I want everybody to know that it's me. Nope, that's not good. We don't suggest that. And I was very adamant about it. I said, well, I'm keeping my name. And then all of a sudden, my mama called my daddy, and my daddy said, you will not keep your real name. You need to change your name. Consider changing your name. And I said, to what? Like, if I change my name, what am I gonna change it to? I don't remember. So I remember being so disappointed in having, even with the thought of having to change my name. I grabbed what was then the Yellow Pages. So you young folks, y'all don't know nothing about the Yellow Pages. Y'all don't know nothing about that. I grabbed the Yellow Pages and went in that bathroom, set my tail on that toilet, and just started flipping through the phone book. And I said, if I'm going to pick a name for myself, I'm going to have to remember it. So I'll know that when people are calling my name, that it's me. So, and I knew that I didn't want a name like Strawberry or, Tina the Radio Queen, nothing like that. I said, I need to have what seems to be a real natural American name. So I went flipping. I said, Tina, if I stick with the T's, I may remember it. So I just kept flipping. I said, and then I ran into Turner. I said, Tina Turner. Oh man, that already exists. I cannot use Tina Turner. So I went flipping some more, and I saw Tilton, and I said, Tina Tilton, that has a ring to it, and I could remember it, and people could remember it. So I came out the bathroom, and I said, Mama, I got it. Tina Tilton is going to be my name. And she said, I like it, baby. Keep it. Run with it. So when I hit Video Waves in 1996, I said, hi, you're watching Video Waves with your host, Tina Tilton. Thank you. And thank you for watching, and yada, 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 and so on and so forth. And then I played those videos that came off of BET's video show.
That's another story for another day. Tilton was born. Yes, 1996.
Yeah. Yep.
First of all, Tina Tilton does have a very strong ring to it. And into that, I'm going to do very quickly before we do Word Up, my short version of how I got Christie Taylor for my media personality career, my media career. Well, I actually had planned on, when I came back from Detroit, was working for WXSS and KFT, in 107, when it was still a urban and gospel station. And I had all intents and purposes of starting my show. I was following Michael Adrian Davis on the radio. And I had all intents and purposes to sign on as welcome to whatever the name of the show was. This is your host, Christie Love.
You were about to be a love.
I was going to be Christie Love, because for those who know Get Christie Love. It's an old 1970s police show with a black secret eye. Was she a?
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
I always loved that. She was so cool. She was like Foxy Brown. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to do a Foxy Brown like you said. I wanted to be a name, Christie Love. Get Christie Love. And people used to always sing that when they would say, "Your name is Christie. Get Christie Love." And I was going to sign on higher, and I'm your host, Christie Love. House and Never, going back to Michael Adrian Davis, who I had met 30 years ago at this station, never knew him before. And because everybody knew my name, and he is he likes to be a 3-name person. You know, I know him, Michael Adrian Davis. Well, he had apparently asked me what my full name was. So before, and I didn't know how DJs back in the day would bring on the person coming up behind them. And I had not told him I wanted to be Christie Love. So when he brings me on, he said, and welcome to whatever WXSS 10, whatever it was, some AM station. And now here's Christie Belinda Taylor. I was like,
the whole name. The whole government name, by the way.
So my name really come from my mama in 1965, December. When she they said, "What you gonna name her?" And so that's how. So I dropped the Belinda, and I just became Christie Taylor. But I'm gonna say, thank God, I'm able to honor, the last name Taylor. But I was gonna get Christie Love.
Oh wow! Thank you for sharing that, Christie. I did not know. Well, see
so
now
we go. Thank Michael Davis. Hey, wait a minute, Cody.
Thank him.
He said, "Good morning. I'm late." Yes, you are, and I hope you heard how Tina became Tina Tilton, and how my government name became my radio name. But I know we're about to wrap up. And Tina Tilton, I know you got a word up.
We got to wrap up with word up. Well, we got this ice. Is it really still considered an ice storm? That's not really a storm out there, right? It's icy. But I haven't turned on the news to see, is it a storm? Is it? I'm asking you, Christie.
I haven't turned on. I just woke up. Okay. Come on.
Okay. Okay. So we know that there's ice out there. I know my sister did contact me earlier and told me that she was watching the news and that people were sliding, because I was about to go out. I ain't gonna even tell you wrong. I said, I'm gonna go out a little bit later. She said, no, I would not suggest that. People are outside. I'm watching the news now, and people are sliding, and they're sliding into ditches and each other, so on and so forth. So she's like, I would not suggest that. And I also know that she called me last night and told me to drip my faucets, because Olivia and I, we were in bed playing Uno. So we just back here chilling. And then I receive a phone call saying, drip your faucets, because, the ice is coming through. So I said, okay. So because of that, I know we're all inside staying warm, but is your power still on?
Wait a minute.
Think about it. I ain't talking about your utilities either. I ain't talking about that. I am talking about the power that the Lord gave you. That's what I'm talking about. Now, listen, I'm serious. Like just because I was thinking to myself this morning, just because like the circumstances around you may look like it's about to disconnect you, if you will, from your power, the Bible tells us that the Lord will never leave us or forsake us. So we need to always remember who our real power source is, and you need to tap into that thing too, and keep your power. Now, notice I did not say receive your power, because we already got the power. I said keep your power. So just remember to keep it, and you can always keep that power. That's my word for today. Keep your power. And speaking of power, I want you to download my husband's song. Since William Gandy want to go there about songs, I want you to download my husband's song too. It's called The Power, and his song is on Spotify. So just because the power may be out physically, don't lose your power within. That is today's word up from Tina Tilton. Word up. You got me some word up music, since you got some new graphics. I
need to get you some word up music, but Corey Garcia, well, you did get an amen. Corey D. Garcia said, you better talk today, Tina.
Yeah, keep
All
that power. Yeah, keep that power on within you. I'm
Well,
serious.
I'm going to say this as we wrap up the Christie Taylor Show, and the Tina Tilton's The Blend is coming up on Comcast stations throughout the Southeast. Be sure to check them out in your city, or simply go on to your favorite YouTube channel. That is going to be the Christie Taylor Show and Tina Tilton TV. In the meantime, in between time, I think Tina got something to tell us. What you got to tell us at 5 seconds to wrap up?
Thank y'all for coming out. God bless. Good night.
For the biggest, that's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest, that's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest, that's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest, that's a